Hello, everyone. Welcome to International Royals TV. Thank you for clicking. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please thumbs up if you haven't already. Please check out our community tab and playlist section for King Charles III Life History series. So today we'll be continuing on with King Charles III Life History. Previous sessions we did 1, 2, 3, and 4. They were called Intro, Early Life, and Family and Education, Prince of Wales, which has three categories: military training career, marriages, and then under the same subheading of Prince of Wales, this one is called Official Duties, and it's session number 5. And source I'm reading from is Wikipedia. Official duties in terms of King Charles III's life history under the subheading of Prince of Wales. So let's go. Official duties. In 1965, Charles undertook his first public engagement by attending a student garden party at the Palace of Holyrood House. During his time as Prince of Wales, he undertook official duties on behalf of the Queen, completing 10,934 engagements between 2002 and 2022. Wow, that is a lot. He officiated at investitures and attended the funerals of foreign dignitaries. Charles made regular tours of Wales, fulfilling a week of engagements each summer and attending important national occasions such as opening the Synod. The 6 trustees of the Royal Collection Trust met 3 times a year under his chairmanship. Charles also represented his mother at the independence celebrations in Fiji in 1970, the Bahamas in 1973, Papua New Guinea in 1975, Zimbabwe in 1980, and Brunei in 1984. In 1983, a man named Christopher John Lewis, who had fired a shot with a .22 rifle at the Queen in 1981. Oh my gosh. Source I'm reading from is Wikipedia. If you'd like to check out any of this, you can catch up on there. We are talking about King Charles III's life history, and today's session is called Official Duties, and source I'm reading from is Wikipedia. Let's continue. Attempted to escape a psychiatric hospital in order to assassinate Charles, who was visiting New Zealand with Diana and William. Wow, I never heard of that. Source I'm reading from is Wikipedia. While Charles was visiting Australia on Australia Day in January 1994, David Kang fired 2 shots at him from a starting pistol in protest against the treatment of several hundred Cambodian asylum seekers held in detention camps. Wow, I'm learning a lot as we go along. Source I'm reading from is Wikipedia. In 1995, Charles became the first member of the royal family to visit the Republic of Ireland in an official capacity. In 1997, he represented the Queen at the Hong Kong handover ceremony. At the funeral of Pope John Paul II in 2005, Charles caused controversy when he shook hands with Zimbabwean President Robert Mugabe, who had been seated next to him. Charles's office subsequently released a statement saying that he could not avoid shaking Mugabe's hand and that he finds the current Zimbabwean regime abhorrent. Source I'm reading from is Wikipedia. If you'd like to check out any of this after, you can. Charles represented the Queen at the opening ceremony of the 2010 Commonwealth Games in Delhi, India. In November 2010, he and Camilla were indirectly involved in student protests when their car was attacked by protesters. Source I'm reading from is Wikipedia. In November 2013, he represented the Queen for the first time at a Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Colombo, Sri Lanka. Charles and Camilla made their first joint trip to the Republic of Ireland in May 2015. The British Embassy called the trip an important step in promoting peace and reconciliation. During the trip, he shook hands in Galway with Gerry Adams, leader of Sinn Féin. Did I pronounce that right? And widely believed to be the leader of the IRA, the militant group that had assassinated Lord Mountbatten in 1979. Source I'm reading from is Wikipedia. The event was described by media as a historic handshake and a significant moment for Anglo-Irish relations. Source I'm reading from is Wikipedia. If you'd like to go on there and check up on any of these things I'm saying, you can catch up on there after this. Commonwealth Heads of Government decided at their 2018 meeting that Charles would be the next head of the Commonwealth after the Queen. The head is chosen and therefore not hereditary. That's interesting. In March 2019, at the request of the British government, Charles and Camilla went on an official tour of Cuba, making them the first British royals to visit the country. The tour was seen as an effort to form a closer relationship between Cuba and the United Kingdom. Charles contracted C-19 during the pandemic in March 2020. Source I'm reading from is Wikipedia. Several newspapers were critical that Charles and Camilla were tested promptly at a time when many National Health Service doctors, nurses, and patients had been unable to be tested expeditiously. Source I'm reading from is Wikipedia. He tested positive for C-19 for a second time in February 2022. He and Camilla, who also tested positive, had received doses of a C-19 vaccine in February 2021. Source I'm reading from is Wikipedia. You can corroborate any of this I'm saying on there after this. Charles attended the November 2021 ceremonies to mark Barbados' transition into a parliamentary republic. Charles attended the November 2021 ceremonies to mark Barbados' transition into a parliamentary republic, abolishing the position of monarch of Barbados. He was invited by Prime Minister Mia Mottley as the future head of the Commonwealth. It was the first time that a member of the royal family attended the transition of a realm to a republic. In May of the following year, Charles attended the state opening of the British Parliament, delivering the Queen's speech on behalf of his mother as a Councillor of State. So that brings us to the end of session number 5, which was called Official Duties. Source I've been reading from is Wikipedia. And today's session was called Official Duties under the subheading of Prince of Wales. Previous sessions we did under the same subheadings of Prince of Wales was concentrating on his military training career and then concentrating on his marriages. First one to Lady Diana Spencer and then the second one to Camilla Parker Bowles. If you missed any of our previous sessions, you'll be able to catch up in the playlist section and on the community tab. Previous sessions were 1, 2, 3, and 4. They were called Introduction. Second one was Early Life, Family and Education. Third one was called Prince of Wales. Fourth one was Marriages. And today's one was called Official Duties. Next session will be session number 6, which will concentrate on his reign. And we also, if you might be interested in Life History series, we have also done Queen Elizabeth II's life history, Princess Anne's life history, Prince Edward's life history, and Prince Philip's life history.